This will be actually part 3, I think, of this new local card shop Fanatics agreement deal.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the message.
So
out.
we did get we talked with people close to Fanatics. We've actually now talked to multiple card shop owners. Some people did not necessarily appreciate our take on how card shops should be. You know, how we think these rules aren't necessarily bad for card shops.
Who are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I don't want to name names.
People actually told you they didn't like our take?
Well, it was more of they thought that the take that we said was fine. We didn't do anything bad, but it was more of they think that the rules actually are more of a headache in the sense of what they are causing local card shops to have to do versus making some things more their choice.
Well, I will say the addendums that have happened to that contract. So basically what we've heard from multiple people is Fanatics and or Tops had calls with multiple shops. Mm-hmm. A lot of these, I think, were just like large Zoom sessions or group calls and informed them of the changes to that wording. So here's some things that I've heard from 2 different sources now, and I'm not going to name either because they both said...
Don't do that.
Correct. So here's the names. Breaking is allowed pretty much everywhere, and it's interesting. Both people I talked to named the one place it is not allowed.
eBay.
Yep. eBay has become target number 1 for Fanatics, which I guess in a lot of ways makes sense. You're not allowed to break on eBay, even if you're approved by eBay on their thing. Mm-hmm. You're not allowed to sell on eBay, wax, and you're not allowed to be involved with eBay Live.
Now, to clarify some things too, is like they do want you to still sell this product that you're getting from this agreement in shop, and you cannot sell all of it online.
Correct.
There are certain rules that say, yes, you can sell online, but you can't sell all of it because they do still want this. That there's been many people saying, oh, they want local card shops to shut down. This is the death of the card shop, whatever. Actually, after talking with someone close to Fanatics, that is the exact opposite. And in fact, you think about like this MVP program that they've done before and they just now brought back again. That is meant strictly to benefit the local card shop. I think that whole conspiracy theory is out the window. And this point goes just to prove that this is meant to vitalize a card shop.
Revitalize.
Revitalize if it's hurting, but I think a lot of these card shops are doing well.
Wait a minute. When does the vitalizing happen?
Yeah.
To be revitalized.
Well, revitalize means you're not vitalized currently.
Is vitalized a word?
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Carlos, is vitalized a word?
You're like my wife.
I'm just asking.
I can't help that my vocabulary is excellent.
I would imagine it is, but I've never personally heard it said out loud.
Really?
I'm going to say this. Corey's my favorite producer.
I cannot believe this. I'm
just kidding. Okay, so that is a big thing. The breaking, the selling online, it is going to be allowed just about everywhere, including their own websites, other breaking platforms, just not eBay. That was specifically named. Well, that's vitalize. What is it?
I said vitalized. It's just the past tense.
Vitalize.
Is that what you need?
Was that the kid who said I like turtles? Same person? I don't trust that little kid, little freak. Okay. The other thing was the selling of cases. This is where I saw a dispute from the 2 people I spoke to.
Oh, okay.
One person said, actually, they will allow for after 30 days, they're allowing you to sell sealed cases off. The other person said they did not remember that or hear that on their call, and they were on 2 separate calls. So I do wonder about that. In other words, and again, the one said they did specifically mention Dealernet, which is a B2B site. You go in, you register, you have to have a business license, and you can post, hey, this product, here is my sell price for this. This is my standing buy price, whatever. Yeah. A lot of people, breakers, card shops, whatever, will sell excess cases on there.
Sure.
One of the people I spoke to, and again, these guys are both very reliable and trustworthy. One said it was specifically brought up, yes, after 30 days they will make exceptions and it will be allowed. The other said, I didn't hear that. I also didn't hear that it wasn't allowed. So I do want to get clarification there. Okay. Either way, though, Fanatics has definitely heard the outcry and changed some things. I know everybody thinks when we talk...
alone is a point.
That, to me, is a point, right? Everybody always thinks, if you say anything nice about Fanatics, Tops, Panini, anybody, it's like you're just... Pocket, you're a shell for the company, you're shilling for them, whatever. I guess, like, here's my thing. For years, it's been, look, we don't ever hear anything back from Tops. Panini never responds.
Exactly.
PSA does what they want. All these companies. Well, now this company's, like, gone out of their way to say, no, we're going to have actual individual meetings with a lot of the big shops and the people that are in the program, and we're going to adjust some things.
Yeah.
Are they still going to have the end-all, be-all say at the end of the day? Yes. Like, that's not going to change, though. The same guys who have an issue with Fanatics having, like, being the end-all, be-all are the same guys who will then, on the other hand, yell, "Oh, we need regulation. Somebody needs to come in."
Yeah, exactly.
This is the start of regulation. Like, if you're going to have one, you're going to have the other.
Now, again, I think we can all agree that a monopoly can still make us worried. And just because we say a positive thing today doesn't mean we won't say a negative thing tomorrow. But in this case,
this is
it's
a good
hard
move,
to
though.
argue.
Yeah, this is a positive move. It's saying you have more freedom as a card shop. The other thing that got reinforced in these meetings, too, was the promotion on social media. Well, I don't know why that was ever a thing in the negative category. If I'm giving you product, post once. The only thing I saw was once every 30 days or monthly, I believe. Post something nice about the. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And don't bash the product. Again, if you're going to bash it, you can't then get upset if they say we're not going to sell to you. So I'm all for one or the other, but like.
I think that's where you get like maybe more the good old boy network where it's just like, well, I want the product and I want to be able to do and say whatever I want about it because that's how it's always been. And I get like that you're used to it, but that's not how it can successfully move forward.
Sure, because there always used to be separation too. You were never buying direct from these companies. You were buying through a middleman, a distributor.
Yeah.
Well, now you're buying directly from the source. There's just more, like, that's how it is now.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in.
Yep.
Like, tough. And again, I think this was a good move. They come out and do something stupid tomorrow or have another contract that amends this, and it's terrible. We'll talk about that. But for the time being, I don't come away from this with any other feeling than it seems like somebody at Topps, Fanatics, both, I don't know, heard the complaints and the outcry and said, okay, let's lessen the grip here and give card shops more leeway. This to me is a win. That is all I really have to say, quite frankly.
I will say that the people that I've talked to that are close to Fanatics have specifically said they listen to, I think, every episode of ours, which means they listen to a lot of other content besides just us. They have open ears and they are definitely going to make changes and that's kind of what we've said for a long time is like, how do we make the monopoly do things when they have all the money and they can have all the power? Well, apparently, if we make a loud enough outcry, they'll make those changes on their own for this time. Could that change in the future? Maybe. But at least this is a positive sign in my viewpoint.
Okay, last point then. The only other thing I would say then is all these content creators out there, if you're going to be loud when you hate something, why do we never hear something? Like, I'm curious how many people, which, by the way, this is not some of them actually have. Like, you mentioned SCR the other day. They came out and you agreed with their take, and I did by and large too. But I do think that's the case. If you're going to come out and make everything's awful and horrible, and this is why these guys are going to ruin the hobby, everybody's clicking on the video. It's like, hey, Fanatics is ruining the hobby, ... People click the video. We love hearing those ridiculous.
Sure.
But do the same people now go out today and say, oh, by the way, and you can keep your I still hate Fanatics. I hate the monopoly. I hate all these things. This individual step, though, I would love to hear a logical argument why somebody thinks this is bad for the hobby. This, to me, was a win.